Here's my advice for beating procrastination. We have this talk all the time with our academy kids. Basically, it's all about a schedule. If you schedule it in when it's convenient, now you don't have to get motivated, right? If you put things off, a lot of times, we try to come up with tricks to motivate ourselves, which is always a good thing, obviously. But what if you only had to motivate yourself 20% of the time? 80% of the time it was built in. That's the reason we don't have any problem procrastinating training during wrestling season, because the high school coach says we practice every day from 4 to 6. If you don't show up, you're kicked off the team. So it's a schedule. So if you learn to schedule these things, so for example, the weight room. Let's say you have a hard time lifting weights. Well, you just want to schedule it. Find out when the weight room is open, or maybe if you join a gym. The buddy system is always a great thing. You find not just one, because he may quit or she may quit. Find 2 or 3 others and say, hey, let's make a pact that we're going to get stronger, and next year is going to be a better year. Right? We all cried under the bleachers after state. We all promised ourselves next year was going to be better. Now let's do something about it. So you say, when are we going to work out? Well, maybe it's just, I'm a 2-day-a-week guy. I think it's best. Once you get really into the weightlifting, then you can up it to 3 days a week. But where our focus needs to be in the sport of wrestling, because we're not bodybuilders, we're not power lifters, right? So let's say we're going to lift Monday and Thursday. Everyone works their after-school work schedule around it. And we say, we are going to meet, let's say 4:30 to 6. We're going to go into the weight room, and there's a group text, a group chat, and we're keeping on top of each other, holding each other accountable. And by sticking to a schedule, now it's built in. I know my brother and I, we did play soccer some when we were kids. We pretty much were one-sport athletes, but we built in practice where we said, well, let's get on the mat, right? In college, let's get on the mat before the football game. Right? So the college football game, if it was 2:30 that day, we would plan a meeting at 12:30. Get an hour on the mat, shower, then we go hang out, meet the guys, meet my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and we go to the game. So we would build it in, right? Because we knew we needed to work out on the weekend, and instead of getting up there at 10 at night or 8 at night or going in there at 7 in the morning, I'm not a morning person, and I know that, and I accept that, and I hate it. I have no desire to push myself to be a morning person, right? I try to work from 9 in the morning till 10 at night, and that's pretty much my schedule. Sometimes there's a little break during the day, sometimes there's not, right? It's just... But I scheduled my workout, and it was a time when I knew I was going to do it. I wasn't going to be in the gym at 7 in the morning. My college teammate he was a morning guy, all right? But he was in bed by 8 o'clock. So sometimes the people who are morning people, we tend to look up to them like they're amazing. For me, our academy practices are 5 till 9 at night. I don't even get home till 10 o'clock at night. And on Tuesdays, I don't get home till 11 o'clock at night. So I'm not going to get up at 4 in the morning because I don't even get to bed till 12 o'clock at night because of my work schedule. So schedule in what works for you too, based upon what you're actually going to do. Not what someone else does, not what you read is supposed to be cool or in, right? And if you are a morning person, then you might say, well, I'm going to get to the weight room. The football coach opens the weight room in the morning. I love mornings. I'm a morning person. So you can say, well, I'm going to lift weights, let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's probably the schedule the weight room is open at the high school. Then I'm going to be a morning weightlifter. Fine, do it. It works out for you. Tuesday, Thursdays, you get to sleep in an hour. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you don't, but you don't care anyway. But now it's built in. So there is no motivation required. Procrastination isn't even built in. Now it becomes no different than when you have high school wrestling practice immediately after school, or 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. It's built in. So if you can build in your workouts around your schedule and around maybe what works for you as far as when you're most productive, I think you're going to find that procrastination is not even an option. And motivation isn't necessarily required, at least let's say 80% of the time, because I built it into my schedule. Scheduling yourself is important. There was I don't know if they're even still around, about 3 years ago, Hero Bar. There was some talk. maybe it was an online thing they won. I don't know. They gave away something, but there was an online interview. It was me, Shale Sonnen, and Art Moratori's wife, I believe. Art Moratori owns Sunkist Fruit. Growing up as in the mid 90s when I graduated college, we used to wrestle for the Sunkist kids. And this is a topic that came up in that interview. I should have saved it or somehow posted it somewhere. But, we all three agreed that your schedule dictates your habits, and that dictates where you end up and whether or not you meet your goals or come very close, right? Because we're not always going to meet our goals, because when you get into being the top 1%, whether you're in business, whether you're an athlete or anything else, once you're in that top 1%, there's some freaks out there. There's people that'll work 12 hours straight. There's people that'll work 10 hours on a Sunday. There's people who will cut weight in June and do sprints in July and cut weight in July and go to Fargo. A lot of high school kids won't, right? They don't want to go to junior nationals. They want to take the summer off. That's fine, but they're not in the top 1%. So this video is pretty much engineered towards everyone, but understand that at the highest level, people have figured out how to reach that highest level. And one of the things I think is important is that we try to take procrastination out of it, motivation out of it, and scheduling is a key. And that's something that in this this interview or talk or whatever you call it with Hero Bar a few years ago, we all agreed, and that's the reason I wanted to put this video out, share some information. I know that some of you out there struggle with motivation and you're a procrastinator. So schedule your workouts around the times that work for you. And when it's convenient and when it's doable based upon your schedule and your personality and your sleeping patterns, and whether or not you're an evening person or a morning person, and I think that you can find that you're going to be one of those athletes who can look back and say, holy cow, it's been 8 months. I've dedicated myself. But you didn't really have to work at it. So there's some great advice. Take it or leave it. Hopefully it helps, resonates with you, and can put you on a pathway to success. Hit the thumbs up button, share this, subscribe. We've got more videos coming. There's 300 something here so far. You can peek through and probably find advice on anything that you can imagine. Good luck.